Hey, what's going on, guys? Patriot Prime here once again with another Generation 1 Transformers review. And the bot we're taking a look at in this video is 1987's Generation 1 Crosshairs with Pinpointer. This is the last Autobot Targetmaster in my collection. Now, before I start going over the figure, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you're watching this video right here and are not a subscriber to Patriot Prime Reviews, please hit that subscribe button right now. It won't cost you a thing, but will help me and my channel out tremendously. Now, on to the figure review. Crosshairs came out in 1987 along with his Autobot Targetmaster brethren, Point Blank and Sure Shot. He appeared in the animated series in Season 4, which was a 3-part series called The Rebirth. Now, he was just a bit player. He was mainly a background character. You didn't really see him too much, but he did have a really cool voice. He kind of sounded like Ronald Reagan.
Now, how are we ever going to get back to Cybertron?
Come on, maybe there's a used ship dealer around here.
But other than that, he really didn't do much at all in the show. The same can be said for Marvel Comics. He appeared in issue number 1 of the Headmasters Limited series, where he was shown to be one of Fortress Maximus's Autobot troops that landed on the planet Nebulos. He's seen in the background, as always, in a panel where he's introduced, but you could barely make him out due to the way he was drawn. He then appeared in issue number 4 of the Headmasters series, but once again, a background character. He's shown transforming and then transforming back. And that's pretty much the history of Crosshairs here in the States. I know he had a larger part to play in the Japanese Headmasters series, but I have yet to see that, and I plan on doing that very soon. It's been highly recommended, both good and bad, that I check that out, so we'll have to give that a watch. So that's pretty much it for the history of Crosshairs. So let's take a look at this last Generation 1 Targetmaster. And welcome to Patriot Prime Reviews. Crosshairs alt mode is some sort of Cybertronian 4x4, and this thing looks awesome. It's big, it's beefy, it's very futuristic. This thing looks like it would drive around the landscape in an 80s sci-fi movie. And this thing has some fantastic molded details. You've got the winch here on the front, the lights. Look at the tread on the tires. They're on the rims, on the side with the vents, and on top with the windows and cockpit. I mean, this thing is awesome looking. It's got pretty nice stickers too, and surprise, surprise, these are the original stickers from 1987. They have a little bit of wear to them, but nothing so bad where I felt the need to fully replace them with a set of toy hacks. Wheels are great. They're big and they roll really good. So this guy can easily go and take out some Decepticons. Now let's take a look at his Targetmaster partner, Pinpointer. Pinpointer, like the rest of the little Targetmaster figures, is static. He has no articulation whatsoever. Fairly decent mold on the guy. Silver paint applications there on the face. But his sole purpose is to turn into a gun. And this guy is really cool. His transformation is different than the others. To transform Pinpointer, fold him in half just like you normally would. And then there's an extra joint to fold it one more time. So you have this longer 2-barreled weapon. So I do like that. The weapon, of course, can attach to the top of Crosshairs so he can go out and attack some Decepticons. Now what's cool about this extra joint, you can angle it up and now it's an anti-aircraft gun. I really think that's cool. So now let's go ahead and transform Crosshairs into robot mode. Let's first remove Pinpointer and we'll place him to the side. He's got a really neat transformation. You're going to take the legs and just simply fold them out and down, like so. Then bring the toes up, take the rear wheels, fold them down, and then we'll get him stood up And from here, what you're going to do is take the front section of the vehicle and bring out. These form the robot arms. Right inside, these are the fists. Flip those out. Get your thumbnail in. And then take this section here, flipping down, and the head pops up. The head is on a spring. So mine, he kind of looks to the side just a little bit. But there you have Crosshairs in robot mode. Crosshairs is my least favorite of the Autobot Target Masters. I don't know what it is about this guy, but something just doesn't sit right with me. Now, he looks a lot different in toy form than the way he was portrayed in both the animated show and Marvel Comics. That being, I believe the artist first saw some renditions of some early concept art for the toy, and that's what they went with. And I wish the toy looked like the art. I'm not a fan of his head sculpt at all. Just something, he just kind of looks dopey to me. And I hate that whole white face. It loses a lot of the details. You can make out the visor, the nose, the mouth, but the paint just seems sloppily put on. Now, another thing about mine I didn't realize until a few days ago when I was researching this figure, mine apparently had some sun damage, because I believe this light blue is the natural color he's supposed to be, opposed to this dark blue that is very prominent in vehicle mode. I probably would have noticed a lot more if I took the stickers off. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, he's got the least amount than his Target Master brethren. His arms can do a complete 360, and that's it. I guess you can raise them up slightly due to transformation. But another thing I don't like, his arms seem to pop to his side. Little springs in there, little ratchets, which is nice. That helps hold the weapon. And speaking of the weapon, we'll go ahead and place Pinpointer in his hand. And there you have Crosshairs, all armed and ready for battle. And now for some size comparison. Here is 1987's Generation 1 Crosshairs with Pinpointer, with Generation 1 Optimus Prime, fellow Generation 1 Target Master Sure Shot with Spoil Sport, and the upcoming War for Cybertron Siege Crosshairs. This figure is going to be a repaint, remold of the Ironhide figure, and I love the fact that they're basing his looks on the animated show and the comic book. I love the looks of that figure so much more than the toy robot we've got now. This figure is currently up for pre-order on Amazon.com, and I'll put a link to that figure in the description of this video. 1987's Generation 1 Crosshairs is a pretty decent figure. I love the vehicle mode. Vehicle mode is badass. I am just not a fan of the robot mode. Pinpointer, on the other hand, I love his unique transformation, being able to turn into a longer rifle-style weapon. So there you go, guys. There is 1987's Crosshairs with Pinpointer. So, does the Generation 1 Crosshairs belong in your collection? Your mileage may vary. Now, he's not one of my favorite Transformer toys. I love the 4x4 mode. I'm just not a big fan of his robot mode. I can't really put my finger on it. He's just not one of my favorite bots. But if you're going to collect Target Masters, you've got to get all three, so you might as well pick this guy up if you find him at a decent price. I actually found this one at a vintage toy store in North Carolina. He was in the back in a box of old Transformers. I found him. A guy said, hey, I'll let you have him for about, I think it was about $10. Took him to the register, and as the guy was ringing him up, he's like, hey, I've got the gun to this guy too, and he sold me that for $5. So I'm into this Crosshairs for $15. I'm not complaining. And guys, if you like the video, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. I try to put out 1 to 2 videos per week, just depends on my schedule. I plan on doing a lot more Generation 1 reviews coming up because TFCon is right around the corner, and I don't plan on making any more large new Transformer purchases. Be on the lookout. The month of September, I'm going to start reviewing the Generation 1 Power Masters. If you're needing some Patriot Prime swag, check out the Patriot Prime merch store. I have the link in the description of this video. Also, check out my series, The Sit Rep, where I sit down and chat with fellow Transformer collector YouTubers. Guys, I appreciate everything. This is Patriot Prime signing out.